Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Nerd Herders. I'm Rich,
And I'm Nick.
and today we are going to be talking about what we're up to, or what we've been up to.
Ooh, okay.
So what have you been up to? I mean, we're up to now, we're recording. So what were you up to this week?
Well, I had a quesadilla before this.
Oh yeah? How was that?
It was good.
I had a couple of the chips that you guys had with it. Those are pretty good.
I also have been drinking this beer that's our beer of the week.
Yeah, we are over a beer, so we are always doing our shows while drinking.
This week we have the Hop City Brewing Company's Mr. Huff Pale Ale, and
It's pretty good.
it's
I'm liking this
perfectly
Mr. Huff character.
I like him a lot.
I think he should be on more things. He's like the cool spot of beer.
He's got a nice hairdo.
Maybe we'll
made
get
of foam.
Maybe we'll get a game, like the Cool Spot game, Mr. Huff.
If you want to see more of Mr. Huff, go to our Instagram.
Yep, over_a_beer. And you can find.
But what else have I been up to this week? There's two things I want to talk about. The first of which is, if you're watching this now, then last week's episode of The Flash is what I'm talking about, which was directed by Kevin Smith. Yes, that Kevin Smith.
The Kevin Smith.
He
From Tusk.
and
The upcoming hit Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers, which got a trailer the other day, and I have not seen it yet.
I haven't either. I've been kind of nervous to watch it.
But he is a guy who, while has kind of lost me movie-wise, I still listen to his podcast. I still watch Comic Book Men, and I will forever love the View Askew universe. And so, because he is so involved in comics, more or less, and known for that, seeing him step in and direct an episode of The Flash was always intriguing when he signed on. And then hearing he did an episode of one of his shows, I don't know, where he talked about the experience of making it after he did it a couple months ago.
So is this the first episode of The Flash he's directed?
First episode of The Flash he's done.
Okay.
It was the next week, I believe, is like basically the 2-part finale.
Okay, and he directed that.
No,
Oh, okay.
just this one leading up to it.
Okay.
It was a very pivotal episode. He directed the hell out of it. It's one of the best things he's ever done.
Wow.
It's one of the best episodes of the series.
So you could definitely tell that Kevin Smith was attached to this.
You can tell that it's different.
Okay.
In some ways, it's still the same show. He didn't add too much humor. There is a cool cameo. We'll say that.
Jay and Silent Bob hanging out.
Maybe. There is that aspect of it that does feel very Kevin Smith, but there's just something. It was also the episode was written by Zach Stentz, who has done some cool comic book stuff before. First episode writing The Flash also, and it's just a really interesting. Without spoiling anything, Barry is in a different place than he would normally be in the show.
Some would say he's in the View Askew-verse.
Maybe. You'll have to see it.
Ooh.
But it was a really good episode. It had everything that makes the show good. Humor, heart, and Smith talked about this. He's like, their mantra up there is story, humor, and heart, or something like that. And he's like, and he's talked about how he learned he became a better filmmaker from having that experience.
That's cool.
He's apparently already been confirmed. I thought it was just to do one episode next season. It's actually 3 to 4.
Oh, wow.
So he had a good experience doing it. They liked him. They're bringing him back. And he said today in an interview that he wants to write an episode of Arrow. So it's cool to see him in this world. And it would be nice if he learned a thing or two about directing from these.
But I mean, that's cool, too, because you see some of these filmmakers, they go to a different medium or something they're not used to, and they come out and they're like, yeah, I didn't like the experience. Like, there's this problem with it. And the fact that he sounds like he's gotten a lot from it and not coming in like, well, I'm Kevin Smith, and so he seems like he's learned from a lot from it, just as much as maybe he also probably could
it was really cool, and he definitely doesn't seem to have that attitude at all. Even when he was talking about the experience, he was talking about how great everyone was and how he was able to just he showed up and they could have done it with or without him. And I think that he wasn't giving himself enough credit. You can tell that there are some things that he brought to this. Absolutely.
Nice.
And it's really cool. It was a good episode. Check it out. And just check out The Flash in general if you've never seen it. It's a really good show. The other thing, and I'm only going to minimally talk about this because I think we might even have a discussion about it this week.
You can check back tomorrow at youtube.com/overabeer.
But I started playing Uncharted 4. I think I would say somewhere between 2.5 and 3 hours in, so not
Okay.
much.
Are you gonna play some more tonight?
I'm gonna play more tonight.
Okay.
And we'll have a discussion about it coming up
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow.
Not a full review, just kind of our impressions.
Early thoughts, but here's what I can say,
Okay.
and I don't want to spoil anything, but essentially every chapter so far that they've hit in this game has been exactly what I wanted. There is
Very
a
cool.
moment, there are great moments early on, but there is a moment that happens on a couch. That's all I'm going to say. And it was so perfect. I could have I was like, this is just great storytelling. This is, and the game is gorgeous. There's a really cool thing that happens too, but just the way that they are developing the characters, the time they're taking to establish things, to further the story, to show us where we're at. It's so good. And I really hope the rest of the game pays off, but I'm very into it so far.
Cool. I'm excited. I'm gonna play some tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have our discussion up.
Yeah. Perfect. All day at work. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get home and play it. And it's been a while since a game. There's been game experiences in the past, however many months that have, I'm excited to play. I'm happy to play when it boots up. But it's been a while since there's a game that really had its hooks in me like that.
I feel like I don't get that as much anymore.
Mm.
Like, I remember, BioShock Infinite, I think, was the last big game where I was like, man, as soon as I get home from work class, I'm going to go and play it. Like, I haven't really gotten too much of that anymore. I'm looking forward to
I couldn't
something.
wait to get home and get this out of the way so I could play more. But no, it's good. So stay tuned for more thoughts on that, as well as yours. You have not started it.
No,
so-
I haven't started it.
But you will have by the time we have that discussion.
Yes. Anything else?
That's what I've been up to. How about you?
Cool. I've been up to a bit. I think in the last, 5 days, I saw 5 movies in theaters. Today's, the first day not going to go see something because I'm going to go play Uncharted. So I'm trying to think back. So Civil War, I saw when it came out, which a review you can find. Again, youtube.com/overbeer.
Lengthy 55-minute overstuffed review.
Yeah,
Good
we got
stuff. Check it out.
spoiler free for the first 10 minutes, and then the rest are all spoiler discussions. Then the next day, I went to Prince tribute for Purple Rain. Very cool, a lot of fun.
Had you seen Purple Rain?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Great music. So bad it's a good movie.
Morris Day in the motherfucking time.
Yeah. And
To quote
then
Kevin Smith.
the next day, I saw Keanu.
Oh. How was that?
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
I mean, it's as usual. They're great together. Key and Peele. If you don't know, it's the Key and Peele movie. They adopt a cat and have to get it back. The cat is adorable. But a lot of it feels like just a bunch of sketches. It's even shot a little like some of their sketches from the show. And it just, I don't know. It's a little too long. About the second act, I was just kind of getting bored and ready for this to move on. But I mean, it's funny. There's worse ways to. It's fine.
So
it's
an
not,
okay watch, but not a comedy classic.
No, I mean, if you're looking for something to do, want to rent it, Netflix it, sure, but not make sure you see this before it leaves theaters, kind of thing. It's fun.
Okay.
Went to more Disney screen stuff this week. The big one I saw was Fox and the Hound.
So what is Disney Screen again for those who may not have seen last week's?
So what Disney is doing is through, I don't know how long they're doing this for, but for weeks at a time. I mean, it's for each week they have 4 different movies playing.
I was looking at the schedule last week. There was movies through June.
Yeah, so they're releasing the schedules every month.
Oh.
So they showed all of April, which was Great Mass Detective, which when I saw that last month, and then they released them up until June. So every week there's 4 different movies, and so this week was All American Week. It was Fox and the Hound, something else, Pocahontas, Home on the Range, and something else. Might have been Brother Bear, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think it was Brother Bear.
And then next week's Pixar Week, and they're doing Toy Story 1 and 2 and Cars 1 and 2, which I don't know why you would do Cars 1 and 2. There's a lot. Unless you wanted to theme Monsters, Inc. or something else, like those types of movies.
Saving
something
it.
else. Yeah. So it's really cool. It's only playing in like a handful of theaters in the country. So just Google Disney Screen and you'll see the list. It's thankfully playing here in Orlando. But yeah, it's great. I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Fox and the Hound.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it a lot as a kid, and
Yeah, it's one of the first movies I can remember crying.
yeah,
So it has that distinction. It's also cool that, like Tim Burton was heavily responsible for animating the bear.
yeah.
It's a neat.
Yeah, there was a cool thing at the beginning. Like, there's trivia at all this. It's just like a one panel trivia, and it was like this was the big movie where you had people like Tim Burton and
Lasseter worked on it.
Lasseter and Clements and like all these people. Like, it was cool seeing the credits too, and like Ron Clements and John Musker on this thing, and you're like, wow, like, it's, knowing where they kind of went from there. But yeah, I'm 25. I still cried at this movie. My girlfriend did not think it was a sad movie.
Jesus. Maybe it's a guy thing. Maybe
I don't
just
know.
Guys get sad at that movie because I mean it's not really for me. And spoilers for a 35-year-old
Yeah,
movie. It's not really like a death thing. It was more just like this great friendship just breaking up. I think that got me as a kid.
that, and she just leaves him
Yeah.
on his own. It's this whole. He's like, we're going. For, where we. You just slowly see them real.
I'm a hound dog.
Yeah, I
Love
mean,
that little
yeah.
friggin' dog.
Quote from my girlfriend: "It is not a sad movie."
Did she like it?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, okay, good. I need to get to one of these.
Yeah,
too.
they're really cool. There's
I
some
saw-
cool ones coming up.
When Toy Story 3 was coming out,
Mm-hmm.
they right leading up to that, the year before they re-released 1 and 2.
Yeah, they
in
did the
3D.
double feature.
So yeah, it's been like 5 years, but I've seen that in a theater semi in my memory. So I'm not gonna go.
So I'm probably
Cars
gonna
1
skip.
and
That
2.
was my thing too. Is like I saw those when they did the double feature. So I'm probably not gonna go see that. But like they've got like Sword in the Stone and Black Cauldron one week,
That would be interesting.
and I don't know if I've ever seen all of Black Cauldron. So I would want to go see that. And I don't remember what the other week was.
That would be an interesting one. So yeah, coming up soon. So if you live in the Orlando area, support this thing.
Yeah.
When you talked about going to see Great Mouse Detective a few weeks ago, you said there was maybe a very small handful of
Yeah,
people in the
there was
theater.
still only a handful of people.
That's really a shame.
I mean, and to be fair, this was 10:30 on a Sunday, on Mother's Day.
Do they do it on Saturday too?
Yeah, it's week, so it's the entire week.
So
They've got 4 movies that play. There's like a 10:30, a 1:30, a 4 o'clock, and a 7 of one of each movie. So it was
Okay.
like Fox and the Hound at 10:30, Pocahontas at 1:30, so on and so forth. And then every day of the week they play that same lineup.
Okay. And that place, Artagon, where it's at, don't they do like a farmer's market type thing or?
Yeah, it's kind of like the
that-
the Artagon is sort of like a farmer's market type place.
We got to go out there. We're gonna go out there for one.
It's
of these
really
soon.
cool. It's one of the reserve your seats recliners theaters.
Yeah, we definitely.
It's really nice.
All right. You sold me. I'm gonna go.
Um,
So if you want to meet up with us,
yeah, you can probably find us at Artagon.
we might tweet about it, or maybe that'd be weird. I don't know.
I don't know.
Come say hi
Yeah,
if you recognize us. And
yeah.
you're gonna go.
If you don't, no worries.
Yeah, I don't want to get killed.
Yeah, just
I'm
don't
not gonna
stab.
tell you when I'm going to a movie. Forget I said it.
They'll just be sitting outside Artagon for like a week straight.
I'm
and
not
waiting
gonna go see Sword in the Stone.
for- Yeah.
Killer.
So I saw that, and then I think the next big thing that I hadn't seen was Jungle Book. I liked it.
Okay.
I got to see it in 3D. The 3D was cool. It wasn't like the Hugo level of 3D, but it was definitely like an enhancing.
What is?
Yeah, I know. But it definitely, like, I think enhanced the movie.
I thought it was a fine movie, not in 3D.
Sure, no, I could definitely see it being fine and not in 3D. But I really liked it. I think the cast is all around great. I like, you see a lot of those movies with like talking animals, and it looks really bad when they make their mouths move.
And I was so worried about this movie.
Yeah, that's because all I had really seen of anybody talking is Scarlett Johansson is Ka, and even then, like, you don't see much of it. And I was like, how are they going to do this? Are they going to screw it up? But it looks really, really good.
I agree.
Walken as the orangutan is
King
just-
Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was cool.
Now, this also made me want to go back and watch the original.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? I don't remember it being as. Is it as dark as this?
No.
As they talk about the fire and. I mean, because when I remember King Louis being silly and then dancing and.
Well, fire does. It is a big part of it.
Okay.
They don't call it. What do they
The
call it?
red
Red
flower?
flower? They don't call it that. They
Okay.
call it.
And potential
Fire.
spoilers for Jungle Book.
But it's interesting some of the things they decided to add and some of the things they decided to change. Like Mowgli's motivations for leaving the jungle are very different in the cartoon. And if anything, I thought more interesting. I don't know if you remember why he leaves.
I don't remember. I mean, I have it.
Yeah, watch it again. I won't tell you. 'Cause
Okay.
I think it's more interesting. It'd be interesting to see if you thought so too. And
Okay.
it's an interesting why would they change it
Okay.
type thing.
We'll talk about that next
But
week.
overall, I I thought the movie was really good. I thought Idris Elba was
Yeah.
fantastic as
God,
Shere
he's
Khan,
great.
menacing.
Yeah.
And the kid was good too. And you see these behind the scenes photos of like what was actually there and what wasn't. It's like, oh my god, how did you do that? How did they
It
pull that
looks.
off?
I mean,
like
everything.
The
looks,
animals are very good. They're not great. But
It's
damn,
clearly
like,
CG.
The jungle.
Oh,
like,
the
it's
jungle's
just, like,
incredible.
you see how like none of it was there, and it's like, what? Like, huh? Anything else?
Bill Murray. Bill Murray was really cool. He was great as
Yeah, he was really good.
Great
yeah.
Blue. You know, R.I.P. Gary Shandling.
Porcupine.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. You been up to anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, if you want to know what we're up to between now and next week, you can follow both of us on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
The channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. Instagram over_A_beer. And of course, YouTube at youtube.com/overabeer. But that's going to wrap things up for today. So until next time, drink up.
And sleep tight, you princes of Asgard, you kings of Middle-earth.